Hey guys, this is Phil Ebner back with another great lesson in the After Effects course. This is an exciting section that we're getting into because we're going to start talking about 3D in After Effects. And 3D is a cool thing about After Effects. You can do a lot of cool 3D animations with After Effects. So it's a lot of fun, but it can be slightly confusing. So get ready for some intense lessons. Pay attention, and as always, watch in full screen and in HD to get the best viewing experience. So first, in this lesson, I'm going to give you an introduction to what 3D really means in After Effects. And I'm going to show you by giving you an example using this dog PNG that I downloaded from Google. So of course, if you're using images from Google for your final projects or any commercial projects, you got to make sure that you get permission from the artist or that you purchase from an image site or something like that. But for this tutorial, or if you're just practicing, go ahead and find a cool image online that you want to practice with. So to turn on 3D, all you have to do is click this box underneath this 3D cube, and this turns on 3D layer. As soon as you do that, you can see that a couple options pop up underneath to format this image. But first, I want to go through 3D position. When you press P or bring up position underneath your layer, you will notice that there is another option. If this is off, it goes away. If this is on, it is back. So before we just had the x-axis and the y-axis, and so by moving these numbers or changing these figures, you will be able to move your image throughout this composition via the x-axis and the y-axis, so left, right, or up or down. Now we have this new z-axis option, which basically moves Fido, our puppy, backwards or forwards in space. So you're actually creating, a 3D environment with this. Let's put this back at 0, for example. So say I duplicate this layer, and now I have Fido 1. I'll make him a little bit bigger so we can represent him a little bit and differentiate him. We have Fido 1 in front of Fido 2, but if you bring up the position function for both, they're both on the 0.0 pixel on the z-axis. So that's the same position on the z-axis, but layer 1 Fido is just on top of layer 2, but it doesn't really mean in the space of this composition he's in front. It just means the layer is on top of the layer down here. So whatever's on top will appear on top. But even so, say Fido 2, our small puppy, is on top, but we move him back in Z space, he is now behind Fido number 2. And so that is how you can see how this 3D space is working. So if you move our puppies back, they will be further away from us in 3D space, or closer to us if you want to go to in the negative pixels. So that is 3D for position. I'm going to get rid of our dot Fido number 2, put him back on the normal z-axis 0.0 pixel. Now let's talk about rotation, because rotation brings up a lot of 3D options as well. So before we just had Z rotation, which was basically moving left or right, rotating kind of like a clock hand. Now we have Y rotation, which will rotate Fido on the y-axis, or we have X rotation, which will rotate Fido on the x-axis. So as you can probably tell, this brings up a whole new ballgame in terms of animating with After Effects and all the different options for animations that you can create. So those are the basics of 3D in terms of just layers 3D. You can, of course, add cameras and do all sorts of other things with 3D and in After Effects, and we're going to be talking about that in the future. But for this lesson, I just wanted you to understand the basics of what happens when you click this 3D enabled layer button right here, the cube to the right of the motion blur. So you can edit both the position and the rotation. And in the next lesson, we're going to be talking about animating these options and creating some cool effects with 3D. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.